Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome finally to another live commentary. I haven't done one of these in a while. Well, I had some webcam troubles, but thankfully it's back on, and we're going to do another one. This is the last of these Dolph Lundgren movies I haven't done yet. From 1997, I saw this last year, so I want to do a podcast for a while. The Peacekeeper. That's the second one on the list. Yeah, this is 99 minutes. I haven't seen it for a while, so let's do this. Hold on, the chat's open in case you want to leave comments. New image. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright for this one like I did with Frozen. I don't know why, because they couldn't hear. This one I don't think is going to get a copyright infringement. So, Film Line International. Frederick Forstier movie. Dolph Lundgren, yeah. I haven't done a movie with him for a while since Command Performance. Michael Sarrazin. Montel Williams, yes, the TV show host in the 90s. And Roy Scheider, may he rest in peace. This is what he did after the Jaws movies. The Peacekeeper. Christopher Heyerdahl. Alan Altman. Martin Neufeld. Monica Snar. She's a Canadian actress. And that's it. The rest of it is opening credits. There's Dolph. This one he didn't direct. He just acted in it because it's a 97. Avi Lerner, yeah, he's one of the producers of Millennium Films. Different from Avi Arad, who does the Spider-Man movies and such. James H. Stewart wrote it, and Robert Griffin, or Griffrion, or whatever. It's been a long time. The last one I did, Frederick Forrester directed this movie. I haven't done a podcast since Love and Other Drugs back in March because, again, I had webcam troubles. It wasn't broken. It was just not letting me live stream because of copyright infringement. I got that was a false case. I did the other films. I did Sweepers, Blackjack, and Bridge of Dragons last year in the basement. Now I could do this one. Mm-hmm. You're in big trouble, mister. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. All of these are still better than Expendables 3 and Expendables 4. I can guarantee it because these are all R rated, not PG 13. Right? Yeah, they are. Because at least these were low budget, yes, but they didn't have terrible CGI or people that are not action stars. Dolph is an action star. Not Megan Fox or Fitty or that guy from Bad Boys 3. No, he's not an action star. Chicago Veterans Day. So November. Mr. President Chicago. That's true. Roy Scheider, I miss you, man. I love Jaws with a passion, but he's done other films I enjoyed too, like this one and The Punisher from 2004. The Air Force Space Command in Colorado. Yeah, this was 97. Our president was Bill Clinton, so we didn't have a black president until 2008 with Barack Obama. Wow, a disc. I remember those mini discs. I used to use that for my video camera back in the 2000s. Hmm. This film has a budget, even though it's from 97. Hmm. We do. We just don't use it all the time. Hmm. Hmm. Yep, you got to give him a gun. His name is Major Frank Cross. Hmm. He has another gun too. Hmm. Especially nowadays during the pandemic. You look at that riot that happened in the White House a few years ago. That was mental. Even when Bush was in office, it wasn't that, like that. And I'm not going to get political here because I'm not. This is not that kind of a channel. I do these podcasts to entertain you guys, not preach about politics. But like I said, that didn't happen in the 90s or the 2000s. There's a woman. I could finally do that. I haven't done that since Anne Hathaway in Love and Other Drugs. Because I literally saw two movies this past couple of days with women that I'm not interested in. Ariana DeBose and Rebecca Cough Medicine. They don't do it for me. One is queer and the other is a Brit. What do you think I'm going to go for? Somebody else. In this movie, you got Monica Schnars, who again is a Canadian actress who is way better looking and legal and not British. She's also not queer, so that helps a lot. I don't care if this podcast only gets one view. I want to do this. It's been a while, so I needed to take a break anyway. I was burnt out in March. It was such a long month. I thought it would never end. Yesterday felt like a Saturday because the pacing was so slow. Hmm. Room service. Hmm. That's good for people that don't want to leave their rooms. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, he put some. So he tried to spike his coffee. Jeez, who would want to do that? Imagine if you had Starbucks and somebody put cocaine in it instead of like that foam. I'd be like, what the hell is this? I don't. I'm not supposed to be. I'm not. My hands are not supposed to be shaking. And trust me, I know what it feels like. Because when I had a Fanta bottle, my arms were shaking so much I felt like I had Parkinson's. It was horrible. That has so much sugar. There she is. Beautiful blonde. Also, her voice is soothing. Who loves your baby? You Kojak? And I PB in my coffee. No. Monica, I think, was in Watcher, not Watchers, Waxwork 2, the second Waxwork movie, where they go through time and all that. Yeah. Nope, he's not dead. The movie just started. We're only 15 minutes in. It's a good stunt. Broke through glass. And see, this is you don't have to have a $200 million budget to have a good looking film, guys. Trust me, I know. I've seen a lot of these action movies from the 90s and the 2000s, and they look better than some of the action films that come out today. Honestly, because they don't have horrible, horrendous CGI, CGI blood, CGI helicopter, CGI stuntmen, CGI everything. And it doesn't, putting CG for everything just makes it feel lazy. When movies in the 90s didn't need to do it all the time. No, he's fine. Landed on a hobo's. Yep, saved by boxes. He landed in a hobo's junkyard. That's my house. You live in a box like a dog and you, like a stray dog, and you that's laughable. That's a dumb line. The Black Bag Man. This movie has unintentional comedy in it. It's not a comedy, but it's sometimes there's some comedic moments in it. A taxi cab. I haven't been in one of those in years. Now people have to take Ubers or Lyfts or the bus. Now the buses are electrical. They're not. They don't have fumes anymore, which is a good thing because it's better for the environment. Again, 97. People used to take cabs. Now they're just Ubers. Because you could do that on your phone and you don't have to wait on anybody. I personally don't like waiting for vehicles. I just walk when I can. This car chase scene again, well done for 1997. Frederick Forrester knows how to direct an action scene. Unlike some people that they make it look like a cartoon or a video game. And unlike Fast and the Furious, they're not destroying buildings and flying through buildings. And the cars are on the ground. They're not flying. That's how you do an action scene. Directors of F. Gary Gray and Justin Lin and freaking Louis Leterrier, you don't have the cars fly. Cars don't do that. Unless it's Back to the Future or something. A car should not be in the air going like this. They go straight down. Cars don't do this. Motorcycles can do that. They're lighter, but cars don't do that because the gravity will pull it right down. I know. I've been inside of a car. They don't fly. They don't even hover. It's a good car chase scene. I'm not expecting every action scene to be realistic, but it's a car. It's not going to fly. Jumping a hall or something like in Speed, that was a bus. I get it. I could suspend my disbelief, but that was one scene. If the bus was flying the whole time, it would have been stupid. It would have taken me out of the movie. Fire! Fire at will. We're 20 minutes in. Nobody's in the chat. I guess they're sleeping. I don't know. Not me. I had to do this. Let me take these socks off. I wore them for like 2 days now. So throw them in there. Again, that's the only time the car jumps off. But again, it does go on top of a building, but not through a building. It's still not Fast and the Furious. This is realistic compared to what I saw in Fast 8, 9, and Fast X. There goes their car. I know. They're on the roof. But the car's still not flying through the air. Through brick. This is when it gets unrealistic. But again, he sees cars on top of their roof. What kind of a movie is this? Man, this movie, it gets crazy. Yeah. We're 20 minutes in and the car's already jumping in the air. Yeah. Is it unrealistic? Of course it is, but it's still more subtle than in Fast and the Furious. Those cars get banged into walls and they don't blow up. That's stupid. That's awesome. Right through the beer bottle uh, uh product placement. That is a cool stunt though. The car, yeah, again, Fast and the Furious, you owe all your action scenes in these crazy movies to the action films of the 80s and the 90s. See, it blew up. It didn't like miraculously survive that. That was a good stunt, by the way. I'll give credit where credit's due. I wanted to do something short that's not 2 hours long. I've seen enough of that in the winter. I saw so many films that were, you know, over 2 hours, like Dune, almost 2 hours, like Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, and Godzilla X Kong. Yeah, this is a nice breezy 90 minutes, 90 something minutes. I smell a conspiracy. Mm-hmm. He survived. President's not even in this scene. I've heard that one. Real helicopter people, just like Terminator 2. I like that this movie doesn't stall for 2 hours to get to the action. It gets to the action pretty quickly within 20 minutes. But there's some it's a fast pace, just like Die Hard 2. That's right, Dolph. Own him. Dolph does know martial arts. Dog tags. Well, that was an exciting scene. Yeah, see why this is a decent movie and not a terrible movie. That roof scene, again, Fast and the Furious has a lot to owe to this. Good morning, heterosexual guy. You made it. This movie still holds up. Yeah, even after 27 years, it's still very entertaining, and you can watch it on Tubi for free. So you don't have, if you guys want to watch it, you won't have to look hard to find it. It's a cute kid. I was a kid in 1997. I was 12. He's using his voice to change to a voice modulator to change his voice. Hmm. The USAF launch facility. This is when Montel Williams finally shows up in the movie. 28 minutes in. He does a decent job acting in this movie. I know he looks like Louis Gossett Jr. Again, rest in peace, Louis Gossett Jr., 87 years old. Lived a long life. And he had a long career, so I got plenty of things to watch with him to honor his memory later on this year. I can't do it right now because, it just happened. Yeah, time for change. And unlike Oppenheimer, this movie's an hour shorter, an hour and change. Is that guy crying? Mm-hmm. And also because after 9/11, never watched it, so I'm not sure. Well, Josh, watch it at least once. It's not going to kill you. Trust me. I sat through it. This is the second time I'm sitting through it. And compared to the movies that I had to sit through this year before this, there are a lot worse movies that I could sit through. Like Happiest Millionaire, which I'm like, why that movie sucked so badly is because it was too long. Too long. Like if a movie's gonna bore me, just bore me in less than 90 minutes or less. Don't waste 2 hours and 40 minutes of my time. That's mental. That's it. My toenails are clipped now. Never watched it, but again, Dolph has a long list of films on this filmography on IMDb. And I promise you, this is not Expendables 4. It's not. That movie was, I heard, was horrendous. It's not even a fun action movie. It's just got bad references, bad CG, bad character moments, and Stallone is not even in the movie. Yeah, he is the Expendables, not Megan Fox and Statham. Older now. I don't know about. I've been pretty hit and miss with going through Dolph sonography, so maybe it's frustrating from 2009. No, it's not frustrating for me because I look at these old films and I'm like, hey, they're competent. Unlike Fast and the Furious, where everything is a cartoon, like you got even the dialogue is horrible with the characters and Vin Diesel's talking like this. At least Dolph is awake in this movie. Vin Diesel is not. Like half the time, he just looks like he's asleep. Yeah, not everything needs to be a masterpiece. I just want to be entertained. See, people that wear masks that happened during COVID, gas masks and ski masks and all that just to protect yourselves. I think a gas mask is too much. You can't catch anything with a gas mask. You can't even. You could breathe poisonous fumes with a gas mask. I'm saying older movies aren't competent, but it's just I'm not sure. So man, this is not Command Performance. This was years before. Booze. Because, like I said, I did this podcast so I could finally do something older. Because the last movie I did was from 2010. This is a lot sooner. An Asian guy. Because there's some older films that have not aged well, like Mortal Kombat Annihilation came out the same year as this, and Spawn, where there's horrendous CGI in it. This doesn't have that. Lower budget doesn't mean that it looks cheap. No, it looks competent. That's all I want. I'm not looking for an Oscar-worthy guys movie. It's just an action film, an action thriller from the '90s, and there's practical blood. It's none of this CGI that is in everything now. If you're not animated, you don't need to put CG in everything. I'm interested. The movie's never boring. No, the woman is not a big part of the plot, but it's a good action film. It's a decent film with Dolph, considering his library recently. of films. Yeah, this is one of his more watchable films compared to his recent stuff. Like I said, Aquaman 2 he did fine, but he wasn't in it much. And Expendables 4 I'm not even going to bother because the third one sucked, and Dolph barely did anything in that one. So Kong, Kong again. Kong just came out this last week. Excuse me. That's why I'm doing box office bus month because I don't do autism awareness. I don't have autism, so I can't. I am not the flagship guy to go to. Unlike Expendable 3, this movie doesn't put in Spanish language. No, there's no languages in this movie, and I don't have to read subtitles for any language whatsoever. Nice watching. Hey, Spidey. Of course, Kong is down. Did you see the recent movie? He was on his back like half the movie when his tooth was hurting and all that. Yeah, I saw the film. I'll eventually do Kong Skull Island on Blu-ray. I just need to get it first. I haven't bought a DVD in a long time. I bought this last year in 2022 at the dollar store when they were still selling physical media. Now they barely do. Also, the diversity hires here don't feel forced. Die. Yep. Yep, he just killed a man. Again, anti-hero. And I like that this movie's not too digital. Like you don't have people on cell phones all the time. You don't have tablets. It's just people being, people. There's technology in the movie, but it doesn't overshadow the movie. Nowadays, everybody's doing this. And I'm on my phone all the time. I talk to Josh on my phone, but I need to let it rest because I don't want the battery to die. And I need it for tomorrow. Are you going to do Skull Island? Eventually, when I get it on Blu ray. I'm still waiting. The word out. Yeah. Yeah, this is a Canadian production, even though Dolph is from Sweden. But it doesn't bother me. Again, it says authorized personnel. The actors are fine in the movie. The villain is not the greatest, but he has one crazy eye, but it's not he's not the worst. Is that a statue? Yep, he got you. Yep. Your podcasting instrument is not working now. Your voice modulation, you got busted. An astronaut. He's just not an astronaut. Yeah, this guy doesn't have the best dialogue in the movie. The bellhop that tried to poison him with the coffee. There's Montel Williams. 6. At least I'll say this: at least Montel Williams can act, unlike Fiddy and Megan Fox. Just saying, guys. Don't no. You don't have to smile all the time. You don't have to do this for your teeth. You can actually show emotion on your face. Montel does for being a talk show host. He does really well here. It's too bad he didn't get to do a lot of films like, Samuel Jackson. That's right, Montel. Earn your spot. I think it's an underrated movie. See this movie, Josh, at least once. If you don't enjoy it, that's your prerogative, but I do. I did all these other films and I enjoyed them way more than some of the action movies I had to sit through in this decade. Fast Sex is a complete cartoon. And I'm like, why? Just because you're PG-13 doesn't mean you can't try. Just saying, guys. No Way Home had comedy in it, but it also had emotion and it had, a pull. And also the action scenes were taken seriously. There was none of this cartoonish garbage. And there is some funny moments in No Way Home, but it doesn't go overboard. You can't go overboard with comedy because then you take people out of it. Yep, they're going through an event like Die Hard. Trying to give a chance to, but not everything is going to be for me. I know that, Josh. Trust me, I know. Enter the access code. I haven't done a podcast in 2 weeks, and I wanted to make up for lost time. And also, the weather was horrible yesterday, so I couldn't do a podcast. Welcome, Mr. President. Oh, yeah, Scheider's not in the film that much because he was doing another film in 1997. So wish you've heard of, Josh. You just didn't see it because it just got on Disney Plus yesterday. I thought it was mid. I didn't say it was great. I had to do a podcast because I don't want to go the April without doing a podcast. I was going to do that originally, but the webcam thing was not the problem with the webcam. It's just that YouTube blocked my webcam because I had a copyright infringement that I didn't even deserve for a piece of music that I had to mute. Oh well, whatever. I'm back, baby. This movie has no copyrighted music. It's a direct-to-video film from Canada from 1997. What music are you going to find in this, huh? Nothing. What's my favorite Dolph Lundgren movie? That's a hard one. One of them is Rocky Four because he's in that a lot. Dolph is a capable actor. He is. I love old movies too because they have way better dialogue and they have actors and actresses that care about their performance, like Robin Williams in the first Jumanji. Yes, and the movies are not overly long. Yeah, Titanic was 3 hours and 97, but action movies back then were not. You didn't have to be Dune back in the 90s. You just had to be like a Dolph Lundgren movie or Stallone or Arnold or even Steven Seagal. His early films are fine. I know he's a douche in real life, but his films are watchable. His early stuff from like 88 to 1997. After that is very hit and miss. But again, that's because his ego got so big. It's like, Yo, I can't do anything. Nobody could touch me. I'm like, you're fat and you're old. At least I'm doing my. At least I care about being on here. Once people get old, they don't care anymore. They're like, I've done everything. There's nothing that I haven't done. I have Wish on digital, but the mix of negative reaction put me off. Of course, it's a Disney reference movie, Josh. It's not original at all. That's why I haven't done a Seagal movie yet because I know how you guys are going to react. But I could do one eventually by the summertime. Mm-hmm. 9, 8, 7, 6, 4. Yep, there goes the rocket. Team Rocket's blasting off again. There she blows. It's almost 11 o'clock. Yeah. We're 46 minutes in, so we're about halfway through the film. Mm-hmm. There's Roy Scheider. It also said Rebel Moon, but like I said, I'm getting back into my content creating and things to find out that. Yeah, again, I'm seeing Rebel Moon Part 2 in 2 weeks. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't count for box office bust because it's not in the theaters, but I'm going to review it anyway as a side thing. If it's not a box office bomb, it's a side review. Remember that, guys. Mm-hmm. Because Wish was a box office bomb. It lost money at the box office and it didn't even make 500 million worldwide. That would have broken even if it did that, but it didn't because it's a Disney reference movie that's an hour and 28 minutes long. And for the 100-year anniversary, they should have tried harder. Rest in peace, Roy Scheider. Yeah, I said that. The Marvels is a bomb too, but I already reviewed that. That doesn't count. I can't review something I already reviewed. It doesn't make any sense unless it's another cut of the movie, and the Marvels isn't getting a director's cut. With Wish, I didn't see it in the theaters. Of course not. It bombed. And people know that I'm going to be honest about my opinion. I didn't love it. Frozen 2, those are great compared to that. They at least have their own ideas and not stealing from other movies. Elsa's not a ripoff of Iceman or Killer Frost because again, the book of the Snow Queen came out I think before the comics did of X-Men and DC's you know villains or whatever. Just saying, even if you've done something before, it's the execution. That's what counts. That's what worked about Mario last year, the Mario movie. It had ideas that were taken from the games, but it did it well. And people were, it was funny and it had personality. Wish barely had any personality. The lead girl is flat. Peaches had more of a Princess Peach had more of a personality because she was cutesy and not queer. Sorry, but this is not this is not Pride Month. That's in June, and I'm not doing it. So because I'm not, that's not me. Frozen 3 and 4, we don't know how fans will react. You know how they're going to react, Josh. They complain about everything. Because, like I said, with nowadays, every movie has to be a freaking judgment call. I'm like, movies are not crimes, guys. If the movie's horrible, fine. Madam Web, okay, you put a stake in the heart of that, it's done. The movie bombed. It's not getting a sequel. Dakota Johnson will do something better after this. No way she could do anything any worse. After 50 Shades and that, I don't think she could make a worse movie if it hit her in the face. Unless she purposely wants to be like Kristen Stewart was early in her career. And I already know Madam Web is going to get all these Razzie nominations and get ridiculed. We all know it. But that's not an MCU movie. Deadpool 3 is. And I'm going to see it and laugh out loud so everybody can hear me. Ever since the theaters reopened, I let everybody in the room know that I'm alive and don't have COVID. Pride Month is not for me. When that comes, you will not see any LGB flags. You're not going to see any gay reviews. You're not going to see it. I'm sorry. I did Booksmart last year, but not for that. I did it in May. That's when it came out. And I'm in love with Caitlin Deaver. Again, she's a girl. There's none of this non-binariness with her. She knows exactly what she is. She looked. And that's what I go for, the opposite gender. That's who I am. That's always been me. None of this, I need to be progressive, so I'm going to be inclusive and be gay. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Instead, I'll find some other thing to do in June. NNN, what was CNN taken? And by the way, I treat every woman I meet at Comic-Con like a queen. I don't do that. Caitlin is done better than Dakota Johnson. Yeah, because she was a kid actress in the 2000s or the 2010s, late 2000s, early 2010s. Because when they filmed Bad Teacher, it was probably like 2009 or 2010. They have a decent chemistry, Montel and Dolph, for not working with each other because he was a talk show host. I do remember his talk show in the 90s. Him and Arsenio Hall, I remember that. I didn't see them because I was a kid. I saw Ricky Lake when I was a kid, but I didn't see a lot of the other shows. 3,000 people. Wow. Silo. Did you see Silo, Josh? I haven't seen it yet. Because again, I didn't want to see anything dramatic this month. I've seen enough of that throughout the months of December, January, and February. I saw a lot of dramatic stuff. I've been trying to balance my life with some more comedy and action films that, while they are serious, they're not really comedies. They're not melodramatic. I heard she was good in that show. It's a series, yeah, Silo. Hmm. I just see movies like this, and also this film takes place in one location. So unlike Rise of Skywalker, where they're in like 14 planets in the first 20 minutes, it's self-contained. It's not all over the place and random. Just saying, guys, it's good to be in one location. Remember Die Hard? When they're in the building, they're mostly in that building for the whole film, and it works. It works because the only other place they show is still is John McClane's family house that his wife and his kids live in. Berger said you said she is good considering it was my second time reading with Dune. With Rebecca, that she's done some bad films like The Snowman, but again, that's not her fault. I'm not going to blame her. With the turkey, yeah, you can blame her because she was never going to be good in Mission Impossible because it's not her franchise. There's always someone on the inside. At least Montel Williams is not annoying like Chris Rock, Chris Tucker, or Kevin Hart or something, where they're just loud to be loud. Mm-hmm. And Caitlin Deaver deserves a theatrical release because her last couple of films have been streamed, and I'm like, that's fine if you see movies at home on Hulu or Netflix or something, but she deserves better than that. I don't even have Hulu. If I had the Disney Plus bundle pack, I could have had Hulu for free, but I don't. That's probably the only streaming service I don't have that is a big one. It's like it's like Disney's cousin. Did I meet? I want to meet her. I want to meet Caitlin. I met Olivia Wilde, who directed her in Booksmart, but that was not Comic Con. That was a Q&A inside of a library on the bottom floor. Let me check how old Montel Williams is. Yep, but she wants to do things on streaming. That's why you have Bflix, Sflix, because Bflix is down now. He's 67 years old now. Wow. Yeah, he had a TV show from 1991 to 2008. Wow, that was a long time. 17 years. What movie has he done? So he must have been in his 30s when he did this movie in 1997. He was like 31 or late 30s because 1956. So 1986, he was in his 40s, like early 40s. Early 40s. Yeah, weird, huh? He really is in the military, you know. His most recent movie is when George got murdered in 2022. Guiding Light, he did have some episodes of that. War Inc. from 2008. He was a voice. He's done some acting. This is like one of his first films, though. Yeah, it's his first film because he was still doing his TV talk show back in '97. I think he does. He's a decent actor. It's a lot better than Kevin Hart screaming. No, Caitlin, you just if I see her in a poster, Josh, or dancing in a film like in the theater, I'm gonna just lose it. I will lose it because I'm like she could have been a lot of things that would have been better with her. I grew up with Montel. Yeah, I saw some clips of his show. I didn't watch it because I was only 6 when he started his show in 1991. I want her to go on the talk show and they just say you are beautiful. Just say it like, just be nice. It's nice. It pays to be nice to people. Be decent. You'll get more mileage out of somebody with kindness than you are with anger and rage and disrespect or hatred, like people like you know who, like those groups out there that are just spreading hate instead of spreading love. I'm not gonna say it here. I'm not gonna get this video flagged. Mm-mm. I'm keeping that to myself. Yeah, this is the third act of the movie. We're in the last 30 something minutes of the film. It's really fast paced. I was never bored watching this. Like I said, some of the dialogue is a little bit cringe from some of the henchmen, and Monica's not in the film that much. She's only the mom, like the kind of stepmom, if you will. But she does fine. I could take this hat off. I'm starting to get a headache. These Canadian filmmakers know how to film. If you've seen Dune and Dune Part 2 and Blade Runner 2049, Denny can direct. He will make anything look like a work of art, dude. I mean, he did an alien movie, a movie with aliens in it that was intriguing and thought-provoking, and it was not 3 hours long, James Cameron. Yeah, he's the same as you, is Canadian, yet he knows what he's doing. You could tell in interviews he's very calm and collective, and he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, he has an accent, but the dude can direct. He could put a banana on a wall and it would look like a painting in the Louvre. He's really good. I would love to meet him because unlike John Carpenter, who's like, I'm sick of everything, or these recent directors that their ego gets in the way. Denis is going to win an Oscar one day for directing or for Best Picture because Nolan finally won one, so it's Denis' turn. He should win it for Dune Part Two or the next film he does because it's amazing. He's the only man other than George Lucas to make a desert not boring. Sorry, J.J. Abrams, you made a desert boring. After the hobo shows up, yeah, it was death and at the dead as a doornail. I'm not worried about Furiosa because George Miller did the whole desert thing right after George Lucas with Mad Max and Road Warrior, etc. But he has the experience. But J.J. Abrams doesn't have experience in a desert. He didn't have any experience. What desert movie did he do? Cloverfield? No, not Cloverfield. He only produced that. Super 8, that wasn't in a desert. Or Star Trek, that wasn't in a desert. He could direct other girls and make them look very beautiful. If he directed Caitlyn, he could make her look like a work of art, Josh, like a Venus de Milo on screen. Like there should be a slow mo shot where she just lets her hair loose and looks at the camera amorously. And I'm like, that I would run in circles if I did that. If he did that in like Dune Messiah or whatever, I would lose it. I would completely lose my mind. I'll be like a dog with a chew toy, just going crazy like Murphy Douglas. Denis Villeneuve is one of the best directors I've seen. Like every movie that I've seen with him, except for Sicario, because that he had the wrong direct. He directed the wrong woman. Yeah, but that was one mistake. Uh, you know, Arrival and Prisoners and Blade Runner and the two Dune movies. They're amazing to look at. Like I love looking at them. Inappropriate girl things. What are you talking, Josh? I said slow mo and her hair is loose. Like she's like doing like this. There's nothing inappropriate about that. Have you seen a Herbal Essence commercial? Yeah, she has a lot of hair. I said like, how Zendaya when we first saw her in Dune, something like that, except with her hair loose, like let it loose, just let it fly. That's sexy. Did you see The Mask? Yeah, I still remember that scene with Cameron Diaz. They do a close up of her bosoms and then they show her doing that. That is sexy. That the 30 years later is still sexy to me. Guys don't do that because we don't have a lot of hair. Josh has a stack of hair. I have like a little bit of hair, so I can't wave my hair in the wind. This is a decent movie. I really enjoy this watching it a second time. This villain has a scar in his eye, like he's Blofeld. Yep, he chose to take us out. No offense, Evan. Yeah, I like the way you guys say out. It doesn't bother me. Who made the bullets? That's pretty dark. That's a dark bit of dialogue. And for Montel's first film, I was expecting a lot worse, but no, he's actually decent in the film. I've seen many herbal essence commercials from the 90s and the 2000s. They were literally touching their hair and going, "Oh, yeah," they were moaning in a commercial. They don't do that anymore now because sensitivity. Not as much as I'm receiving The Mask soon, but I get, yeah, The Mask is on 2B right now. I keep my hair cut. Yeah, I cut my hair every month so I don't look like I don't look like Kylo Ren. Washington D.C., not Washington State. Ooh, that line did not age well. Ooh, yikes! That line, especially after 9/11, yeah, you cannot say that line now. Yeah, you cannot say that line, especially with the election coming up in November. This film is a little bit political, Josh. So if you can't take politics, this isn't the movie for you. Have I been to Washington D.C.? I drove past it. I've never walked through the city though. I've been to Delaware and PA. Man, this movie does not hold back. I like that it does that because nowadays, yeah. So if Montel was born in 1956, then he was let's see, by 1996 when he was filming this, he was 40, 39 or 40, depending on when his birthday is. I think he does fine here. We don't see enough of him anymore. I would love to see Montel in another movie over someone like Kevin Hart who gets everything, or David Oyelowo or Idris Elba. I'd rather see somebody different. And he was a good talk show host. He never had too much controversy like Jerry Springer or these other people. Cyclops. Hey, this isn't an X-Men movie. That won't come out till the year 2000. I said the way Cameron Diaz showed up in The Mask. If you do that with Caitlyn, I will lose my mind, Josh. I know she's not, voluptuous, but she's for a girl her size, she does it for me because she's all natural. That's not something I could say about every girl, like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and all that, where they have fake bosoms and all that. No, that's not for me. I like the real deal. She's beautiful. I'll tell her to any woman. Canada and Tennessee have a way of talking. Yeah, I know. The American flag. Yeah. I'll try to find a movie to see on Memorial Day. Last year I did something, I forgot what it was. I think American Assassin or something. I forgot. I'll find something. Or maybe it was Clear and Present Danger or something like that. I got to do something shorter, not something 2.5 hours. I celebrate every American holiday that has to do with America. Flag Day, Independence Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day. I do it because I live in America. Most of my most of my fan base does too, or they live in Canada up north. America, America. Yep, gotcha. E equals MC squared. Yeah, the balloons are nice touch. Red and blue balloons. Lakeith, we could see more of him. Yeah, exactly him. Just be careful with them. Yeah, don't keep putting him in movies that nobody wants to see. Yikes. Yeah, the movies that we're an hour and 11 minutes in. We're almost done. This guy's not playing around. Also, he's not too over the top. Like some villains now are cartoon characters, and I can't take them seriously at all. What a kick! Also, there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat and also feet as well. It's not just shooting. No, not the doors. Very physical. Yeah, right into the exhaust port. Yeah, I would get anything signed at Comic Con, even this, because I'm like, yeah, if it's physical, they can sign it. It's an extra $20, but hey, I celebrate every holiday almost except April Fool's Day. I only did because, again, Josh, I haven't celebrated the holiday since 2018. Because again, it's hard to fool people now because of the pandemic. Haven't celebrated. Wait, the Keith likes acting and he treated Kano with respect. Yeah, and that was one of his first films. He looked like you back in 2013 when he did Short Term 12. The same director that did Shang-Chi, and he did a good job with that too. I don't want to hear it from people saying I was so mediocre, so stupid. Again, it's Asian culture in 2021. What did you expect? This film has some good action sequences, especially the car chase scene. It looks realistic compared to Fast and the Furious like 8 through 10. Yeah, and that includes Hobbs and Shaw, which I haven't seen because it's a cartoon as well, and it's over 2 hours. I'm gonna wait. I'll either wait till May or I'll see it in the summertime. Yep, another explosion. After this, I'll take a little break and I'll go shower because I need one. It's getting hot up here. Run. There goes the flames. That is crazy, man. And he survived. She could survive in it. That's fine. I'm just saying, I want her to look sexy. Vanessa Hudgens did in Bad Boys 3. And that was unexpected because they're like, oh, this is a rugged action movie. How's she going to look sexy? Yeah. Scene in the club with the birthday boy. Yeah. Hot. That was hot. And she didn't have to strip or anything, but she showed it. I do miss Roy Scheider a lot. He makes most of his screen time in this movie. You know what this villain looks like? He looks like Steve Buscemi. Yeah, like a Canadian Steve Buscemi. Oh, great! My dog is barking. Yeah, that's what he looks like. I was like, he looks like somebody. Yeah, Steve Buscemi. Check this. Mm-hmm. Do you have High School Musical 3? Yes, I do have that one on Blu-ray. But if I do that, I have to mute some of the songs because Disney, blocked me, my video. That they gave me a copyright infringement just for a song from Frozen. Didn't make any sense. I didn't even put the volume on. Mm-hmm. There's stock footage. That's stock footage. This guy's a psychopath. Yeah, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. We're almost done. Got about 15 minutes left. More stock footage. Yeah. Black and white stock footage this time. Again, I did these shelter drills back in school. I'm watching Hocus Pocus. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one in October. But the song "I Put a Spell on You," I have to mute it just so that Disney doesn't get any ideas, because Disney should not be blocking my videos when I didn't show footage or any sound or anything. They didn't hear anything. They just wanted to be douchey. There comes a nuke. Yep. Yeah, really. I must say, Rorschach really sells this role. Mm-mm, don't do it, Mr. President. Don't do it. Don't you dare. There's no bullets in there. Yeah, don't try. Don't attempt it. You will regret it. I would never put a gun to my head, ever. Rorschach had no interest in Jaws 2. Yeah, I know, but I still watch it for fun. Yikes! They tried to do that, September 11th. They crashed a plane into the. Was it the White House? No, it was the Pentagon. That is scary. That was scary. I know. I lived through it. I saw that footage. I was there. I was in New York City. I was in high school that day, and that happened. I was like, what? It was like living in a movie world. I couldn't believe it. But we got through it. 23 years later, I'm still living. I'm just careful with the people that I associate myself with, because I want to live. Dolph really commits in this movie. He proved what a great actor he would be later on in his career, where he would direct and produce stuff as well. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not going to do a podcast without my camera. I want you guys to know it's me and not somebody pretending to be me. That's right. Right in this. That was awesome. That's right. Now Dolph is going to go Punisher on you. Mm-hmm. That's for giving me tainted coffee, buddy. There's an axe there that he's going to use it. Yep. Trust me, an axe to the gut, that will do it. Have you seen a slasher film? He could have decapitated him, but I guess they didn't want this movie to be too violent. There's already enough political intrigue, so they didn't want to go too far. Just one more drink. Yeah, again, they commit. That's right, Dolph. Run. It works for Tom Cruise. Access and no interruption authorized. Cannot proceed. Oh, excuse me. Him and Thomas Jane are the Punisher. Yeah, exactly. Ray Stevenson, may he rest in peace, but he was not that great of a Punisher. He could have been better if he was the villain instead of the Punisher. Because Warzone was a cartoon. It tries to be a violent comic book movie, and then Jigsaw is trying to be the Joker, and it didn't work. This guy's crazy now. This guy doesn't care. Idiot. There's the White House and the National Monument and the Capitol building. Yeah, but Dolph does it. And this wouldn't happen today because if there's a threat on U.S. soil, the military will not take that line down. All the Spider-Man movies are returning. Yeah, they start in 2 weeks, but I can't see them because I might see No Way Home, but I'm not going to see the Garfield movies because I hated those. And the Sam Raimi movies, I've seen them in the theater already back in the 2000s. But I try to save my money because Star Wars is getting re-released in May. The Phantom Menace and A New Hope. I already got my ticket for it, so 11 seconds, man. You put 1 second to spare, man. I hate when the lights go out. There wasn't a boom, so I guess he stopped it in the nick of time. Yep, he saved everyone. It's a happy ending and it's good. You don't want to have an action movie have a downbeat ending. This is not Rogue One. Sorry, Rogue One. There's a reason I haven't watched it in years. It's a fun movie. It's a better it's a better watch the second time around. Yet the missile just landed in the white outside of the Capitol building. They still have to dispose of it because it could still blow up. That really is an entertaining movie. I think it's underrated, Josh. Watch it and go with an open mind. It doesn't have a sexy woman in it too much, but Dolph and Montel Williams really hold this together. And the action and the plot. Very entertaining movie. I'm glad I rewatched it. It's been a year, so National News Network. And that was the Peacekeeper, guys, from 1997. It's gonna end soon. This was a good one. I'm glad I got to watch it again. Movie does that with me when I go watch a second time, even though you don't like it. It is a good ending, Spidey. He does good. Einstein. At least Dolph gets to walk away from this. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. That was a fun movie. 93 minutes. See, you don't need to be 2.5 hours, guys. That's how it should be. I finished Lego Skywalker Saga on what? You finished playing it? I haven't finished yet. I still got hundreds of kyber bricks to get in the game. But anyway, that was Peacekeeper. I'm very happy I got to finally see it after a year. And it still holds up really well. The Dolph and Montel Williams really do help the film a lot because they're the two lead characters and they have decent chemistry. And I think it's a movie that's been overlooked. Watch it. It's on IMDb. It's on Tubi, and they changed their logo, but the movie's still on there, so it's worth a watch. So thanks for watching, guys. Acknowledge me, and I will watch another movie and see it with you guys next time. See you later.